Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, January 28th of 2014. Just finished a 4-hour radio show on one of the coldest days, a record cold today, and one of the coldest days in quite a while. I think maybe actually earlier this year we got down to 16 below. On my drive in at 5 o'clock this morning, it was 14 degrees below zero. But similar wind chill temperatures with yesterday, right around 30 degrees below zero, where it kind of bottomed out on that. And then hopefully this massive cold will lift going forward here through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But that is the big story today, because all but 3 or 4 schools in our listening area were all closed. That means all sorts of kids are home all day long, again for the second day in a row. Even Munster closed for today. They had been open yesterday. Had a couple kids called in. We had Kyle, we had Alex. Kyle, a 4th grader at St. Stan's, and then Alex, a 4th grader at Elliott. He told us a nice little story about why he wanted to go to school, because he didn't want to have to make it up on the end, because the day he's done with school, he's going to space camp. So we had a future astronaut call into WJOB today. What about in terms of news and so forth? The cold, of course, number one thing. The airport at Gary, the airport board, one of the few governmental or any sort of entities able to get together yesterday. They did get together in the middle of this massive polar vortex to okay a 40-year deal, privatization deal with AFCO. And we went through some of the details of that. It's still a little bit difficult to see the huge advantage to the Gary side, but at some point maybe that'll be made more visible to a lot of folks. Right now, AFCO comes in, basically gets control of that Gary airport, and it doesn't even look like they're even putting up any of their own money right now. They have to raise some, but it's kind of I'm going to try to read through it today, because I just don't see that many advantages quite yet, but that's another story. Also, in terms of development, BW3s, or Buffalo Wild Wings, has agreed to come to Kennedy and the Borman here in Hammond. And also a Hampton Inn has agreed to come there also. Still no word on if the Flossmoor Brewing Company is going to be able to come up with their share of the money to join those two businesses at that location. But they're $2.4 million, I guess, BW3's coming up with as part of that development. Pretty good incentives from the city of Hammond also in that deal. And then, of course, the issue of the gay marriage and the attempts here in Indiana to put a constitutional amendment together to basically outlaw gay marriage in our Constitution, and also to outlaw giving benefits to the partners of folks in gay marriage or lesbian marriages or civil unions. So a big setback for those folks that are going for this amendment yesterday is the House voted to change what the amendment would read, and that means that it may have to start all over again. So the earliest vote would be 2016. Now, there are weird things that can happen down in Indianapolis, and Dan Carden of the Times called in and we went through some of those situations. But for now, it was a victory for the gay and lesbian folks and their supporters. All right, guys, there it is. It's cold out. Stay warm. I'm Jim Dedelow, AM 1230 WJOB.